breaking news that's coming in right now. First pictures of Prime Minister Modi receiving the UAE President at the Parliament Airport in the national capital. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan has touched down in Delhi for a very brief visit, but a significant one at that. We're just going to put out pictures. Those pictures are on your screens right now of Prime Minister Modi welcoming the UAE President to the national capital. There's another picture also that we're putting out on our screens shortly of a hug that's been shared by, in fact, Prime Minister Modi and the UAE President. These are the first pictures on your screens. It's on the invite of the Prime Minister that the UAE President has touched down in Delhi. Very brief visit, but a lot that will be packed in this particular 4-hour-long visit. My colleague Gaurav Sawant is also with me to get us the latest on this. Gaurav, what do you make of the significant visit of the UAE President?
So this is his third visit to India. He's very close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Both share a great bond. The fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi went to the airport to receive him, that just shows how close the two are. When 2015 Prime Minister Narendra Modi had travelled to the UAE, it was after a gap of almost 35 long years, 34 years and some months that an Indian Prime Minister went. And look at how strong that relationship is. Remember, you went to Abu Dhabi, didn't you, for that Hindu temple that came up in Abu Dhabi. The trade, $100 billion is the aim. The non-oil trade, by 2030, they want to take it to $100 billion. Point two, point three, the defense partnership, the strategic partnership, they want to increase it at a time when there are tensions between Saudi Arabia and UAE over what's happening in Yemen or happening over Somaliland, at a time when India is equally close to the leadership in Saudi Arabia too.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about how ties between India and the Middle East, the UAE, also has transformed in the last few years under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. But talk to us, Gaurav, about this visit and the fact that we're seeing a very short one by the UAE President, 4 hours or something like that. What has made this visit so significant that the UAE President has said, look, no matter what, I have to stop over in Delhi?
So he's coming to Delhi to have an interaction with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Look, the world is going through a turmoil, an intense turmoil right now. You're seeing what's happening in our neighborhood. It's a terror state, Pakistan. You're seeing what's happening in Iran, the tensions between Iran and the United States of America, talk of a regime change. God forbid, in case something happens to the Strait of Hormuz, at a time when the American carrier fleet, the USS Abraham Lincoln from South China Sea, it's coming to the Arabian Sea by the 25th, another couple of days, it'll be there in the Arabian Sea. If there is war, it's not just Iran that will suffer. It's not just the GCC countries that will suffer. The whole world will suffer. Plus, there are tensions that are happening in Yemen, in parts of North Africa, tensions between Saudi Arabia and UAE. So all of this, and India is very close to both. India is very close to MBS and MBZ. So can there be forward movement at a time when Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey are also looking at a defense partnership? There's some talk of India looking to sell the Akash air defense system that performed extremely well during Operation Sindoor. So there's a lot that's going on. A Tri-Services Guard of Honor at the airport, the Prime Minister receiving him personally, then the interaction, all of this is very significant right now.
And look at those pictures on our screens right now of the cultural welcome for the UAE President. Like Gaurav and I have highlighted, this is a very, very short visit by MBZ in India to the national capital. You these pictures. One point, Gaurav, that you made a mention of is the tensions between UAE and Saudi Arabia. This is a tough one to navigate for India. And keeping in mind the UAE President's visit to Delhi, what will be New Delhi's message to UAE?
Look, India has always been a very strong votary of rules-based order. India does not believe in might is right. And, for India, both Saudi Arabia and UAE are extremely important as far as remember India's G20 presidency, IMEC corridor came up, the concept of IMEC, so it's India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor, in which you need, from India to the UAE is where the sea leg goes, then from there the train leg, UAE, Saudi Arabia, goes all the way up to Israel, then from Israel it goes into Europe, and then ultimately America. All of that is extremely significant, and India would want through dialogue, and that has been India's stated position. Every issue sought out through dialogue and diplomacy and not through use of force. Look at this again, a very powerful image, the two traveling together in one vehicle, right? That shows the bond between the two. Incidentally, the both of them are also personally very close. The president of UAE refers to Prime Minister Narendra Modi as my brother. The Prime Minister refers to MBZ as my brother, and that's a huge thing as far as the two are concerned. Economic dependency, strategic relationship, people to people. You tell us more about people to people. You were there in Abu Dhabi covering the Indian diaspora is big in the UAE.
Huge. And what I'm also noticing here, Gaurav, is that the latest trend has become car diplomacy. We saw it between Putin and Prime Minister Modi. We saw it with the German Chancellor too recently, and now with the UAE President. That he's got very little time here. Make the most of it. Travel in the same car. And that picture speaking volumes really of the ties between India and UAE. And like we've been highlighting, it's grown leaps and bounds. The relationship between India and UAE and the Middle East, largely with all of these nations. We've seen a huge leap as far as India's relationship under Prime Minister Modi is concerned with these countries. And that's really highlighted again in those pictures that you see on your screens, that the Prime Minister was there at the Palam airport to personally welcome the UAE President, sealing it with a hug. And then they're traveling in the same car together. So the car diplomacy continuing in the national capital there, this time with MBZ as well. But you're right, Gaurav, the people-to-people ties is something that was so indicative when I had visited Abu Dhabi as well. Huge Indian diaspora. The Prime Minister had come, I remember, for the inauguration of the Baps temple there. And there were huge crowds who had gathered. What was also extremely heartwarming to see was that it wasn't just the Indian diaspora. Locals too had gathered in such great numbers, because this is beyond, right, just a temple. It was a monument that people had gathered to see, that they were proud of it being constructed in their soil. And I think all that was the result of the relationship that we've seen between Prime Minister Modi and MBZ.
So imagine in 2015 when they met, the two heads of state or government were meeting after 34 long years. And the large number of Indian diaspora present in that country, it just goes on to show how India is virtually the backbone, whether it's law and order, education, administration, in so many places. And it's not just people from Kerala. While, diaspora from Kerala play a very significant role, each time I visited Dubai or other parts, it's usually airport administration, police, local administration, transportation. They play a very significant role. Healthcare again, and they want more. And this is one thing that India is very proud of. Healthcare workers are in huge demand wherever you go, whether it's West Asia, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Israel, United Kingdom, Greece. So many countries want Indian healthcare workers in larger numbers. They want Indian doctors. They want Indian construction workers, skilled, semi-skilled workers. They want them IT. All of this, and it just shows when two countries trust each other, movement of people becomes so much easier. Remittances become so much easier, and the aim. So oil trade is huge, but now they want to go beyond oil. Agriculture, cosmetics, gems and jewelry. All of that, Indian companies there, their companies here, their investment in India, all of that is huge. The aim is to take it to $100 billion by 2030 in non-oil trade also.
Looking at the current geopolitical situation, and this is something we've been speaking about, that 2026 has started off on a rather turbulent note, if you will, and for the UAE too, no doubt about that. So keeping that in mind, Gaurav, this 4-hour visit by the UAE president, would you say that it's more crucial perhaps for the UAE, the big takeaways of this visit, than really for India?
So, he's meeting the Prime Minister, the National Security Advisor, the External Affairs Minister. They're all calling on him. Very, very important meetings that are taking place. All of this does signify security remains a very significant part of this meeting. But, beyond just talks of a sale of an Akash system, if it happens or it takes more time for it to happen, the aim is to ensure that heads of state and government are so close to each other that they're constantly in touch, they keep visiting each other, they keep interacting, they know the chemistry between leaders also ensures chemistry between people. And do keep in mind, when it comes to national security, there was a time a lot of anti-India threat came from Dubai. The mafia, they were now confined to Pakistan. Once upon a time, the mafia played a very significant role even in Dubai. To counter Pakistani terrorists in Dubai, the leadership there has played a very significant role in helping India ensure that that territory is not used for anti-India activities like it was in 1993, when all the terrorists who were part of the 1993 Mumbai blast, they would fly to Dubai, and then from Dubai to Pakistan, back to Dubai, and then to India. All of that now, to a very large extent, has been curtailed. ISI's tentacles have been cut in the UAE, and of course, all across the region. The aim is these countries come together. What happens with Saudi Arabia? It will be very interesting to watch, because India is equally close to the leadership and the country, even when it comes to Saudi Arabia.
To MBZ and to MBS, as you pointed out. And that's so a tricky one for India to navigate. But like Gaurav said, the message ultimately will be that we stand for peace, we stand for dialogue, as has always been the case for India on any global conflict. Our message is ensure and resolve through dialogue. If India can step in and help in any way, we will be willing to do that. As we put the focus again on these pictures, Gaurav was talking about how we've seen from a crime hub to now a lot more extraditions happening. That itself is an indicator, Gaurav, of what's really changed in the India-UAE story. Something unheard of before.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The partnership is at various levels. You and I were speaking of people-to-people cooperation. That's immense. That's a trade relationship, economic ties, investment, diaspora. Our ministries and their ministries, our home ministry and their interior ministry, the intelligence sharing, the NSA level dialogue, and of course the heads of state. It flows down. It's a top-down approach. When the top leadership are in sync, the respect that India gives to a head of state. Now, it's a tri-services guard of honor, all the pomp and show, traveling together in the same car. This is also a message that's going out to the rest of the world.
Who's watching in particular, you think?
So one terror sponsor in our neighbor, our western neighbor, Pakistan, a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror. They'll be watching this very closely. Also, when they watch India's equally close relationship with Saudi Arabia, that is when they will understand that this terror nexus between countries like Pakistan, taking weapons from Turkey, taking weapons from China, they're operating to destabilize India. In the long run, it will always boomerang on them, like we've seen in the past. So far, India was very polite, would not say it. Now India says it. Look, Raksha Mantri, the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, he's just called Pakistan a Sirphira country. He didn't name Pakistan. He said our neighbor who is Sirphira, wonky. And that just shows that India is always with the stable countries. This Islamic Ummah that Pakistan talks about, there is no Islamic Ummah. There are countries that are very hostile to Pakistan spreading terror, even in their countries. Like Saudi Arabia and UAE are all very apprehensive and wary of Pakistani beggars and Pakistani criminals. They come to these countries and beg and steal, and then try to give their brand of Islam to Saudi Arabia or to the UAE. They're more pious than the Pope. And it's just absolutely bizarre in these countries. Says, back off.
So we're seeing these images, as Gaurav points out. Perhaps one of the countries that will be watching out for this bonhomie, this warmth, may get a bit jittery over it, is no doubt Pakistan. We're going to continue tracking all of these images. Just look at the bonhomie, the warmth between the two leaders. We've seen it previously. We've seen it again as Prime Minister Modi has personally welcomed the UAE president in India. For just about 2 hours, he is in the national capital. And you see that welcome there with a bear hug, essentially, between the two leaders. And this is what will translate also to diplomacy. We'll know the big takeaways in just 2 hours from now. So do stay with us here on India Today as we decode the big highlights of this visit.